This is the SolarPlay Portable Power Station 2500 watts, a compact, boxy power station with a tough orange and black shell, rounded edges, and two sturdy handles on top that make it easier to lift. It stands roughly knee-high by backpack wide, with a clean front panel and a large, easy-to-read LCD right up front. The screen shows battery percentage, real-time input and output wattage, and which ports are active so I can tell at a glance what's going on. The casing feels durable, and the vents on both sides move a lot of air, which matters when you push it hard. Key features that stand out for me are the 2500 watt continuous output with up to 4800 watt peak, the big 2304Wh LiFePO4 battery, and the fast charging. LiFePO4, sometimes written LFP, is a safer, longer-lasting battery chemistry. In my opinion, that's a big deal because the pack is rated for over 3,500 cycles. That means I can charge and discharge it daily for years before I notice a major drop in capacity. The display and buttons are straightforward, and the ports are laid out in a way that makes sense. I get 4 AC outlets on the side for standard plugs, 2 USB-A ports at 3.0 speed, and 4 USB-C ports up front, 3 at 20 watt for phones and tablets, and 1 at 100 watts for bigger devices like a laptop. There are 2 DC outputs too, a 12-volt 10A car-style port and a higher 25A port for gear that needs more current. There's also a built-in light bar on the front with a regular beam, an SO strobe, and a hazard pattern. It's simple but really practical when I'm digging through bags or setting up a tent. From my experience, setup is straightforward once you know what's included. In the box I found the AC charging cable, the XT90 solar charging cable, and the manual. I plugged it into a wall outlet and watched it pull a high charge rate. The fast charging spec here is real. When I feed it up to 1100 watt from AC or a properly sized solar array, I can bring it from low to full in around an hour and a half. For something with 2304 watts of capacity, that's quick. If you're new to this, watt hours basically tell you how much energy is stored. As a simple estimate, a 100 watt device could run for around 23 hours on 2304 watts before losses. In real life, with inverter overhead, I plan closer to 18 to 20 hours. That helps me figure out if I can run a mini fridge overnight, a CPAP, or a laptop and lights for a few days. I tested it with home tools that can be tough on portable power: a corded angle grinder, a random orbit sander, and a circular saw. Those tools have a surge when they start, which is where the 4800 watt peak comes into play. The SolarPlay handled the startup spikes without dropping out, and the continuous 2500 watt output kept everything running. I also tried a small microwave in the 800 to 1000 watt range and a coffee maker. Both worked, but I like to keep headroom so I'm not running at the limit while other devices are connected. If you're into job site tasks or DIY projects where outlets are far away, it's perfect for powering tools in short bursts and steady appliances like lights or a fan at the same time. The UPS function was a pleasant surprise. I used it as a bridge for my internet router and a desktop computer. When I cut grid power on purpose, the transfer to battery was fast enough that nothing turned off. If you haven't used UPS mode before, think of it as a safety net. The power station passes through wall power to your gear and instantly switches over if the lights go out. Here it switches in about 0.02 seconds, which is quick enough for many electronics. On the road, I charged it in a car using the cigarette lighter port when I didn't have ASCII. Charging is slower that way, but it's nice to have. Solar input through the XT90 port is flexible, and adjustable charging power helps when I'm sharing a circuit at a cabin or campsite and don't want to trip a breaker. I dial down the input to match what the outlet can handle, then bring it back up when I'm on a dedicated line. Let's talk about weight and handling because that's a real factor. At around 47 pounds, it's not light. The top handles are strong and well positioned, but I still plan my moves. I store it at waist level, so I'm not bending too much, and I carry it with 2 hands when possible. Once it's down, it has a low center of gravity and feels planted. For portability, I'd call it movable rather than easy to carry long distances. If you expect to move it frequently across a big campsite, a small cart helps. Noise is reasonable. At low loads, the fans cycle off and on gently. Under heavy charging or when I'm drawing a lot of power, the fans spin up and make a steady whoosh. Not loud enough to be annoying outdoors, but indoors it's noticeable. That's the trade-off for keeping the internal components cool and extending the battery's life. The ventilation design on both sides does its job, and being mindful not to block those vents is key. Safety-wise, the built-in battery management system monitors temperature, voltage, and current to avoid overloads or overheating. I tested the overload protection by pushing near the limit with multiple appliances, and it responded by cutting output before anything risky happened. A quick power cycle, and it was back to normal. I like that as a safety net for family use. Let me explain a few terms for anyone new. Continuous power is what it can deliver all the time. 2500 watts here. Peak or surge power is the short spike it can handle when a motor kicks on. 4800 watts in this unit. LiFePO4 is the battery chemistry. It's more stable and lasts longer than typical lithium-ion packs. Watt hours tell you how long the energy will last. The larger the number, the longer you can run your gear. UPS is an uninterrupted power supply mode that keeps devices running when the grid power cuts out, and the switch time matters if you don't want your computer to reboot. It's perfect for home backup during short outages, camping off-grid, or mobile work where you need clean power on demand. I kept a mini fridge humming, charged multiple phones and a laptop over USB-C, and used the 100W USB-C port to power a high-performance notebook without the big brick charger. The 4 AC outlets let me spread out power bricks without a tangle. The front light came in handy while running extension cords in the evening, and the SOS mode is a smart touch for roadside situations. In my opinion, the power-to-size balance is strong, and the fast recharge changes how I plan my day. I can top up over lunch, then get back to work instead of waiting half a day. The tough part is the wait, and I'd call the initial setup mildly confusing if you haven't used portable power before. The manual is clear enough, but watching a short guide can speed things up, especially for solar wiring. Also, while the housing feels rugged, I still avoid rain and keep it under a canopy outside. It looks weather-resistant, but I treat any power gear with caution around moisture. From my experience, the SolarPlay Portable Power Station 2500 watts does what it promises. The big battery, fast charging, UPS capability, and varied ports make it a reliable anchor for home backup and outdoor trips. If you're a contractor or a serious DIer, it can run common tools and lighting without fuss. If you're a camper or overlander, the USB-C and DC outputs cover most modern gadgets, plus a fridge. If you need to keep critical devices online during outages, the quick UPS switchover is worth it. I'd recommend this for anyone who wants a dependable, high-capacity power station with quick turnaround charging and doesn't mind the wait. If portability is your top priority and you only need to charge phones and a small fan, you might consider a smaller unit. But if you want something that can handle real appliances, support multiple devices at once, and last for years, thanks to the LiFePO4 battery, this is a solid pick. In conclusion, the SolarPlay Portable Power Station 2500 watt brings strong power output, fast charging, and a long-life battery together in a practical, user-friendly design. It's not the lightest, and the first-time setup might take a few minutes to learn, but the performance and safety features make up for it. It has earned a spot in my backup plan at home and in my gear for trips. I will leave detailed information about the SolarPlay Portable Power Station 2500W in the comments for your reference. Thank you for watching.